Star-crossed lovers find each other once again after years apart. Doesn't that sound like the ultimate love story? Well, for Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, it's not just a story. It's really happening. After almost 20 years apart and being married to different people, these two historic lovebirds have come together once again to reignite their love and finish what they started.
I want to know how he proposed right now.
I took the ring out and I asked her to marry. I took the traditional approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
While leaving Jen's apartment, Ben was wearing what seemed to be the very same watch that she had given to him all those years ago when they were first together. Their relationship was clearly left unfinished, and they're back together to finally have their happy ending. If we take a quick look back at all of Jennifer's previous relationships, maybe it was clear that Ben was the one for her all along? Stay tuned to Rumour Juice while we go back in time to see how J-Lo tried her best to ignore all the signs that Ben was always the one. And take a second to hit that notification bell too.
Obviously, I'm very happy, and she's great, and as all you can see, what an incredible, wonderful talent, and what a wonderful woman in person. So I was just here as a fan and very excited, and I had a wonderful time.
Let's take a second to talk about the watch. Yep, that watch. J-Lo had bought the silver timekeeper for him when they were first together back in the early 2000s. When Ben was leaving her apartment in Miami after spending the weekend together, he was spotted wearing what Bennifer fans seem to think is that very same watch. Do you know what that means? It means that all these years, he's kept that token of love from J-Lo. He didn't toss it in the trash and burn it along with all his ex's belongings like most people would do after a bad breakup. He kept it and now he's wearing it again. If that doesn't scream meant to be, then we don't know what does. While the pair might be trying to avoid the Bennifer frenzy, very poorly might we add, they haven't publicly acknowledged their relationship. But the pictures seem to be giving us all the info we need to know anyway. The actor was spotted this week yet again leaving Jen's house, and rather than give the usual disinterested expression he's known for, he actually smiled at the paparazzi. Their romantic sleepover happened just one day after their cuddly Monday night date, so it seems all is going smoothly for Bennifer. The couple were photographed with their arms wrapped around each other as they made their way into Wolfgang Puck's new restaurant in West Hollywood. Not bothering to hide their affection, the stars were spotted with arms wrapped around each other heading in to get some food. A little birdie told us that the PDA continued throughout their meal. At one point, Jen even nuzzled her head on Ben's chest. Eventually, they peeled themselves off each other, and as they opted to hold hands as they walked in. They were very affectionate, very cuddly. He had his arm around her the whole time, said an insider. J-Lo fans are really hoping that this time she's finally found the happiness that she deserves. In the past, she hasn't had the best of luck when it came to romance, and Affleck is no exception.
Well, I will ask you, because in the book you also said that Ben was your first heartbreak.
It was
your
my
first real
It was my
heartbreak.
first kind of heartbreak.
However, she was unlucky in love before she crossed paths with the actor. J-Lo met her first husband, Ohani Noah, an aspiring performer, when he was a waiter at a Miami restaurant in the late 90s. Not much is known about their relationship since they divorced in 1998 after only 11 months of marriage. What we do know is that they had quite the messy split. Her ex made an attempt to take advantage of Jen's quick rise to fame by threatening to sell a tell-all book of their relationship, along with a tape of them together while they were on honeymoon and private home videos. The video allegedly contained salacious material which would be shocking to both her family and fans. However, what actually shocked fans was that her ex was attempting to sell the private tape. Thankfully, J-Lo's lawyers were able to stop the book and video footage from ever being released to the public. But the singer was still wounded by her ex's act of betrayal. Sadly, this would not be the last time that someone would break Jen's trust. Who could forget that she also dated notorious rapper Puff Daddy, also known as Sean John Combs? That was when she graced the red carpet in the legendary green dress. The couple were together for 2 years, and it was a pretty bumpy ride from the start.
That green Versace dress that J-Lo wore before any of us. When she came out, what did you say when you saw that dress for the first time?
Just wow.
They were even arrested together. In December of 1999, the couple were arrested after they fled a New York nightclub where a shooting had taken place. Lopez's charges were immediately dropped, but Diddy was charged with bribery and gun possession. Their relationship was turbulent and full of infidelity, which eventually led to their breakup.
You know, Puffy and I were like, both grew up in the Bronx. He had been in the music business and had all the success. I was just starting and making my first album when I met him. He became kind of a mentor to me.
I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts. It really took my whole life in a tailspin. I never caught him cheating, but I just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours and then never come back that night, the singer confessed. After one failed marriage and the chaos that followed her relationship with Diddy, all Jennifer wanted to do was find the right guy and be happy. For a while, the singer thought her second husband, Judd, was supposed to be that guy. Unfortunately, her marriage to Cris only lasted 9 months. Ultimately, it was the stress from the paparazzi that strained their relationship. Sadly, it was the stress of the public eye along with another woman that caused yet another one of Jennifer's relationships to come to an end. When Lopez and Affleck got together, they were making headlines all over the world. They were the center of tabloids during the early 2000s, and let's face it, who doesn't want to have a poster of them framed in their home? Those two are hot, hot, hot. When Affleck featured in the singer's Jenny from the Block music video, fans were practically sweating from the steamy scenes of the couple together. J-Lo in a hot pink bikini and Affleck in a white tank while they sunbathe on a boat. Does it get any hotter than that? Phew. Jen admitted that even though they didn't want their relationship to be so public, having the paparazzi follow them around all the time along with the constant news headlines added a lot of unwanted pressure to their relationship. We were on the cover of every magazine, every week. It was just a weird thing. Our relationship, I think, did suffer because of that. That's not the only reason, but I think it definitely played a part in the dynamic of our relationship, Jen confessed. Bennifer went on to get engaged at the end of 2002. Ben got down on one knee and proposed with a massive 6.1 carat pink diamond that was alleged to have cost him a whopping $2.5 million. We're pretty sure that if the Titanic had that rock on board, it wouldn't have needed to hit an iceberg to sink to the bottom of the ocean. Unfortunately, just as the couple was riding the high of their engagement, things quickly came crashing down. Ben and Jennifer Garner worked together on the movie Daredevil, and while filming, the co-stars fell for one another, and they fell hard. So all that chemistry you see in the movie, that's all real. It was just a few months later that the pair called it quits and Bennifer was no more. The news shattered the hearts of fans all over the world. But no one could have been more heartbroken than Lopez, who confessed, "I was eviscerated. I lost my sense of self, questioned if I belonged in this business, thought maybe I did suck at everything." When Affleck and Garner's relationship was confirmed, everything else started to make sense. The actor had left J-Lo for another woman and fans were enraged. How could he have done that to her?
But I never felt heartbroken until we called off that wedding. You know what I mean? It was really devastating to me.
Despite the fact that they both moved on to get married and start their own families, it seemed that J-Lo never really recovered from the heartbreak that Ben had caused her. She even admitted that she might have rushed into her marriage to Marc Anthony without taking the proper time to heal her broken heart. Thinking back, maybe deep down I knew that this was a band-aid on the cut, that my wound hadn't been stitched or healed, but I pushed all of that to the back of my mind. She was determined to move on and did her best to put Ben behind her, but she soon realized that Marc wasn't the one and they divorced after 4 years together. When Lopez got engaged to baseball player Alex Rodriguez, everyone thought that she had finally found the one and that she would have her happily ever after.
He's just the most supportive, caring, present partner, and I just, I'm so grateful for our life and our kids and this time, and I couldn't ask for a better person to be by my side right now.
We're not sure what happened, but maybe her engagement sparked something in Ben that made him see clearly for the first time in years. The shocking news broke in April that J-Lo and Alex had called off their engagement, and fans just couldn't believe it. What was going on? Everything had seemed to be sunshine and daisies between the couple, and suddenly they had separated. The baseball player was heartbroken by the split, and he was under the impression that they were just taking some time apart to think things through and would work things out. Right before Jen and Alex split, there were rumors flying around about how he may have cheated on the singer while they were engaged.
Good show, baby. Oh, there he is, the man of the hour.
J-Lo was, quote, always aware of Rodriguez's cheating rumors, of him messaging other girls before their breakup, a close friend to Jen confessed. And it was allegedly these rumors that played a role in her taking a decision to call off their engagement. Jen wants someone who's fully invested in her and someone she can trust when she's not around her partner. Then the real bomb dropped. Ben had been sending love letters via email since February to Jen, trying to win her heart and get her back. Then it all started to make sense. J-Lo had reconnected with her first real love, and he was impossible to ignore. With Affleck pursuing her, perhaps she realized that Alex wasn't the one she really wanted. Maybe Ben had always been the one for her, and they had never gotten to give Bennifer another chance because they had always been seeing other people.
I remember like stacks of magazines, and we were on it like every week, and it was scary. It was overwhelming for both of us.
Maybe Ben wanted to try and win Jen's heart back before she married Alex and missed out on his chance. Whatever the reasons were, fans have always been a sucker for Bennifer, and no one is going to complain. Well, except for Alex. After hearing about Bennifer's weekend together, sources revealed that Alex was shocked by Jennifer and Ben's reunion, as he had hoped that he would be able to make it work and reconnect with his ex. All we know is that Bennifer is back on, and while it's still early days, fans are rooting for things to work out for the pair. Maybe it's finally time for Ben and J-Lo to have their happily ever after. Bennifer forever.